Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Do not be afraid. Yes, you're back with me on your break time, early in the morning, before you go to work, after you've had that dinner, after you're having that snack in the middle of the afternoon. Don't be shy. It's good. What's good? This is good. And this time we have an opening, an unboxing for Not a Slab. What could this possibly be? Well, dear friends, fabulous folks and connoisseurs of this great hobby of ours, it is a mint condition copy, sealed as I bought it originally. Obviously, the seller had included a lot of peanuts as I requested to keep the integrity of this hardcover in its best shape possible. Not going to sell it. I'm not giving it away. I've got a reader's copy. So I could bring that out, but why bother when I could just pull out this sealed. Oh, what could it be? Is it my favorite graphic novel of all time that steps somewhat into and out of Marvel continuity, since I'm a big, oversized, supersized Daredevil fan? Love my Batman and Spider-Man, but right there with him is Matt Murdock. And of course, Elektra, not Chills. Miller and Varley, Elektra Lives Again, First Print, Epic Comics. This was reprinted, I think, the last time I checked, about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times. I don't even know if there's a softcover version of it. I think there might be. Someone out there can correct me in the comments or just, remind me which way that went. But just to get this, I think I have a fifth printing of the hardcover. So that's my reader's copy. But this in particular, you can tell that the original... the wrap was it tightened up the it had actually, I remember this, the cover, the paper cover on the outside of the cardstock was a little bit extra big, if that makes any sense, which is why it has that curl on it once it was shrink wrapped. But that's okay, that's fine. It's just the nature of these types of hardcover books. Again, from 1990, if I remember correctly. So what is that, folks? 30 years ago, give or take. Wow, it's just a beaut. If you haven't read the story, you've got to read Born Again by, the Daredevil Frank Miller run. You've got to read Born Again as well. Year one Batman was fantastic, of course. Highly recommended for anyone coming into the hobby and starting to read comics now in 2024. But this is a gem. Like we all have things that we might part with and sell or be part of a business, whether it's selling online, whether it's selling out of a brick and mortar store or whatnot. This isn't really a part of that. This is more of like I don't know, is it a sentimental value? Perhaps it is. But the story just reached me some kind of way. Much kudos to Mr. Miller, wherever he's at, if he ever gets to see this. And Lynn Varley, I believe they were married at one point. That might be his ex-wife. I think she was. Either way, they did a great job. The color scheme was fantastic. Watercolors that were used on real paper and were photostated and turned into these sheets that obviously were put together at the printers to make the pages. But it is just something worth owning. Of course, this is the original first print, but whether you have the second to the fifth printing in the hardcover, just buy it. Do yourself a favor. Make it, you're giving yourself a treat. Just read it. She's dead, he tells himself for the 1,000th time. She died in my arms. And when I touched her next, that last time I ever touched her, it was her, not anymore. It was something cold, cold and empty. Hopefully I read that correctly. She cannot be alive. The thoughts of Matt Murdock. The greatest love affair of all time, besides people kind of edge that towards Lois and Clark. And for me, it was always Elektra. And it just felt more real when I read these characters that were so down to earth, street level heroes. I still love me some Kal-El, don't get me wrong. Love all that, but this stands on its own right. If you're a collector, if you've read these old stories by Miller, Roger McKenzie, who wrote those early issues of Daredevil that Frank Miller ran, wonderful writer. Then Miller took over the scripting along with Klaus Janson, a master inker. It was just one of the greatest runs. Of course, later on, sort of added to in the early aughts by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. Beautiful run there as well. But man, the original, whew, some people go back to the early like issues of Daredevil. I like them as well. They're just there's a novelty to them, but the Gene Colan issues, yeah, they were okay. I think story wise, they were good. The artwork, I was never the biggest Gene Colan fan. I liked it, but it wasn't my time. That's all it was. When I started reading comics, and I was really in my teens, and this is what actually kicked me like just 3 steps forward and what comic reading could actually be. I'm talking in reference to the Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, I should say. Let me back that up. Starting with one issue 158, which was the Mr. Fear cover, Roger McKenzie on script. Of course, it was Rubenstein and Miller on cover. Oh, Joseph Rubenstein, a master inker. I'd love to meet him one day. I've yet to do so. Hopefully, before either one of our time is up on this earth. But wonderful, wonderful inker. The inside was Frank Miller art, of course, and it was inked by Joseph Rubenstein, and then eventually Klaus came in a couple of issues later. It was just amazing work. All those 20 odd issues that they worked on together. Then he left the title. Jansen finished it off, and then I guess a couple of years later is when around 89 or 90 when they put this together. Electro Lives Again, Miller and Varley. Man, it's just amazing to have this. Finally, I had the original printing a long time ago. Probably gave it away. I do a lot of that. I don't mind. Figured I one day would get it back. It took me years to get at least the first printing, shrink wrapped, in mint condition, unopened, gem mint. At least for me it is. It's my key. It's my gem mint for me. I hope you all enjoy this. Have a great day, a great night. However this video finds you, please, by all means, just share the video, please. That's what I ask everyone to do. Just, hit the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up button. By all means, subscribe. And the best thing you can do for this channel is just to share with other people. Just share the good times, the enthusiasm, other people of a like mind, or maybe people that are just coming into the hobby and are trying to find items to read. I am going to continue to do, of course, unboxings of slabs and all of that. That's fine and dandy. But I'm also going to do some overviews of some of these hardcovers and great storylines, whether it be an Omni, a hardcover, maybe a soft cover that came my way or I picked up somewhere. Because we have to not just push the value of trading in the hobby, but also the value of reading in this hobby and what it really means to gather that information and retain it. And remember the stories by Roger McKenzie, by Roy Thomas, just the list goes on and on, by Frank Miller, Kurt Busiek, in the 90s and the 2000s, going back to Stan Lee in the 60s. The list goes on. There's just so many great creators for Marvel, DC, independent comics, obviously in the last 25 years, Image Comics as well. All of you have a great day, like I said before. Hopefully this wasn't too long and took up too much of your time. Bright moments. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you all on the next one.